of your unfulfilled.
Hello, everyone. Hey, I'm Joseph Skoda. And there's a lot of important things going around that people don't realize. Sometimes we see our neighbor as being successful, maybe because they have a nicer car, maybe they have nicer clothes. Obviously, if they're your neighbor, they have a similar type of house that you have, understandably, but maybe they seem to have a better lifestyle. Maybe a coworker seems to go on nicer, better vacations than you do. And that's great. Actually, we should applaud them. We should applaud them. Too many of us are all eaten up inside from what our neighbor has or what our coworker has, instead of realizing or trying to understand, are we happy to begin with? Is our life good? Are we happy to be where we are in life? I'm going to talk to you a little bit about something you probably heard before, that success leaves clues. Listen to me again. Success leaves clues. Right. Now, we're going to see a lot of successful people. We could talk about the Ray Higdons in our life, or the Tony Robbins and some other people that we know make a lot of money by teaching at conferences, having maybe video seminars or special training, coaching that they provide for each and every one of us. But how do you think they got to the level that they're at? The Rob Fords, the Adam Chandlers, so many other successful people. Yes, even the Donald Trumps. Because they learned a little bit about what successful people do. Most of them don't vegetate in front of a TV for 3, 4, 5, 8 hours a day. I'm sure many of them don't. Don't get me wrong, they might have their days where they just shut the door, lower the lights, and sit at home and don't want to be bothered by anyone or anything. But the majority of them spend more time reading. Reading. What do they read? Mary Poppins or Curious George Goes to Washington? Maybe. But they focus more on like-minded. They focus more on what are other people doing to become successful. They focus more on bringing value to themselves and their businesses. Now, they learn this. They learn how to market them and brand themselves by reading a lot. But they get in there. You know, there's a lot of people. Lee Iacocca from Chrysler has an amazing book. You know, Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If you haven't read that book, you need to get it. It's an awesome, awesome book. It will definitely change your mindset. There are so many things out there we need to focus and put our minds in. And don't rush through it. You can get the Cliff Note versions of almost any book. And sometimes I listen to those just to kind of get my mind going a little bit. But we have to realize, if we want the meat and potatoes in our life, we cannot cut too many corners. We can learn from other people's mistakes, sure. And those are portrayed in a lot of these books that we're going to read. Now, what about the webinars or seminars that we can go to? And webinars, obviously, online. We can listen, watch what people are telling us that they did to become more successful. Because success leaves a lot of clues. A lot of those people that are making it big today did not drive the Cadillacs or Mercedes when they first started off. They lived within their means. And they spent their money, or they reinvested their money into their businesses, into themselves. Too many of us will earn an extra $100 at whatever business venture we have and spend $95, maybe $99 of it. But a lot of those guys will maybe put $10 in the bank and reinvest the other $90 back into their business. That's how you become more successful, is you kind of put your money where your mouth is. We love to tell others what they need to do. Well, if you only go to school, you'd be richer and more successful. Or if you only took that job I told you before. Or if you'd only stop eating junk food. Great advice. But people don't want us to tell them what to do. Sure, we can guide and mentor, but if you and I do not have a good guide and mentor in our own lives, let's face it, how can we effectively help someone else? We have people graduating college all the time, as well as high school, and even leaving the military with hopes of doing something better with their lives. Great, but who's going to mentor them along the way? Right, are you giving them a copy of that Rich Dad, Poor Dad? How about How to Win Friends and Influence People? It's another great book. Because you want to be successful, people don't care what service you have or what product. In most cases, they want to know if they can relate to you. They want to know if you're the kind of person they can trust, that has integrity, that kind of knows what they're talking about. So be that person. Be the one they can look up to. And if you keep focusing on building yourself up inside and making yourself more intelligent and just smarter from the books you read and the people you hang out with, people will hunt you down or will be chasing you, not necessarily hunting you and trying to take you out, but they'll be chasing you, looking for your help and your advice. That's when things clicked for me. When others that I barely even knew me will come to me and say, hey, Mr. Skoda, hey, Joseph Skoda, hey, Joe, will you help me? I'm having a problem here, I have an issue. How do you make it all work? Because believe it or not, as we grow in ourselves, as we grow as people, mentors, educators, whatever the case may be, others do take notice. Maybe not our family or our best friends right away. That's life. Those are friends and family. But people outside of our circle take notice. The ones in our circle may not, because if you choose your circle carefully, you're all growing together. They keep saying we're a product of the 5 people closest to us. So make sure those 5 people closest to you are where you want to be in life, are the ones making it, the movers and shakers in your community. Make sure you hang out with those. And trust me, it's not as hard as you think. You just ask someone. Say, hello, Mr. Jones. I like what you're doing. Can you help me? Can you coach me? Can I just spend a day with you and find out the life and times of Mr. Jones and what makes you tick? Every one of us has something different that eats up inside of us that we just need to have or we strive for. Sure, many of us just want more money, which is fine, but what are you doing with that more money? Are you reinvesting in yourself? Are you going to maybe see Goofy here at Disneyland? Going on more vacations, buying those fancy cars? And nothing's wrong with all that. But make sure you're investing more in you so you become a better you. And quite frankly, if we're not giving back, if we're not serving, if we're not giving our time, talents to others, then what good are we? We're here to serve one another. So that's it. You want to make yourself part of the circle, you make yourself part of the circle. Some of us just want more time. We have all the money in the world. Maybe we're professionals. We are, be the doctor or be a lawyer when you grow up. And those are great. I know some very successful doctors and lawyers. Unfortunately, most of them are very stressed out because they're constantly working. If they're at home, in back of their mind, there's always something going on. And they're not able to give their family or their friends 100% of their time or 100% of their attention when they're with them. And that's sad. That's sad. You imagine have all the money in the world and your family's enjoying the vacations and the house that you bought with that money, but you're not able to be there with them. In most cases, your spouse will say, hey, let's just cut back those hours and do something else because I'd rather spend time with you. And if you do not have a significant other that would rather spend time with you, maybe it's time to find another one. Or maybe you just became so arrogant from the way your business or your lifestyle has made you that people don't want to be around you, including your spouse and children. Can you imagine that? So a lot of us want more time. A lot of us want more money. Most of us want a little bit of both, of course. You dress nice. They always say dress for success. Now, sure, you don't always have to have a suit on or a tie to be successful or look successful. And some of the more successful people I see are on the golf course wearing shorts and those funny looking golf shirts. Sure, or doing other things with their time. But when it comes down to business, when it comes down to one-on-one, face-to-face, and making the deal, or at least trying to give a good impression of yourself, dress the part. Don't be lazy. Don't just go into a courthouse wearing a t-shirt and expect the judge to take you seriously if you're trying to win a case. Take yourself seriously. You feel better when you dress better, and you attract a different kind of person. Now, if I go to Walmart, let's just say Walmart, dressed like this, I get a whole different respect than if I'm wearing a t-shirt and shorts, especially if I'm going to Macy's or somewhere else. So be careful the way you dress. You want to be more successful? Like they say, success leaves clues. Do whatever it takes. Associate yourself with the right people. Keep your mind focused. Read more. Watch TV less. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some great YouTube videos or Vimeo videos or other ones out there that you and I really need to pay attention to. It's going to open up a whole new world for you and I. There is so much talent in this world, and we just have to learn. We don't have to reinvent the wheel, as they say. We can be copycats. Isn't that flattery when you're copying something your mentor does and you're learning and they're coaching you along the way and say, yo, bud, this is how you do it. Don't be stupid. Don't try to do something else. If you want what I have, then listen, then watch, then follow. Every one of us wants a coach and someone to take us under the wing. Don't we? We want someone to take us under the wing. But why are you and I so stubborn to listen to them? We just still want to do our own thing and expect the same results. Stupid! Come on, guys. Let's do the best that we can do. Respect one another. Even if you're giving advice to someone and they didn't take it, let's not badmouth each other. Sure, we can shake our heads and say, whoa, what happened? But let's not belittle one another. We have to serve. We have to give. But don't give till it hurts. Some people will take advantage of you, successful or not. And it's our job to surround ourselves with a higher caliber type of people to help us not fall in those traps when others try to bring us down. Because believe it or not everyone is going to want to see you successful. Well, here it is, my friends. Success leaves clues. Pay attention to the clues around you and get yourself focused where it needs to be. This is Joseph Skoda. Have an awesome day. Bye.